afternoon. I'm Erin Mordhorst.
And I'm Morowitz. You're watching the MadiZONE HD SportsNet football pregame show. We're 2.5 hours before kickoff. It's homecoming here at James Madison University. And today's game will feature the Dukes versus the Tribe of William and Mary in the 37th meeting between the two programs.
The Dukes jumped out to a 21-0 lead in the first quarter last Saturday and held off the Charlotte 49ers for a 48-40 victory in Charlotte, North Carolina. The win was the Dukes' third in a row, leaving them at 5-3 overall. The 17th ranked Tribe is also 5-3 overall, and both teams are 2-2 in the CAA. What do we expect from today's game? Let's check in with Kurt Dudley, who's with Coach Everett Withers.
Dukes are back at home at Bridgeport Stadium, a 3:30 kickoff time against the Tribe of William and Mary. Tribe coming off a win over the Delaware Blue Hens last weekend, Coach. And two teams are really on a collision course. Both are 5-3. I know you don't want to look a little bit further, but this becomes could be a pivotal game for both programs.
Yeah, anytime you get back into conference play with the stakes as high as they are right now, it's important that you play well. And William and Mary is playing good right now. They had an opportunity to beat the Delaware team last week, so we've got to play well to compete and go win the game.
Of course, Jimmy Laycock is one of the deans around college football. He's been around it many, many years. And just from your perspective, watching him from the outside, what do you see of this William and Mary program?
Well, very well coached. They're going to be sound in all three phases. They're going to play very hard, very aggressive. They've done a great job of recruiting in their program, recruiting to their culture in the program. I think that is really important. I had an opportunity to play them when I was at the University of North Carolina, and we actually played them for a homecoming, and they did a great job. So I know they're going to be a tough task for us on Saturday at homecoming.
William and Mary always has a very efficient offense, seemingly so. Very rarely are they struggling on offense.
Right.
And this year they're led by a fine running back whose father played for the Pittsburgh Steelers,
right,
in Michael Abdul-Sabor.
Yeah, he's a very talented runner. He's, I think, second in the league right now in rushing, a little bit over 100 yards rushing. Had a big game against Delaware, 198 yards, and we're going to have to do a great job of balling him up and taking away some of the run lanes that he looks for.
How about defensively? What do you see in the Tribe?
Again, another attacking defense. They had, I think, 5 sacks last week against Delaware, so they're going to try to get after your quarterback, stop your run, and get you in long yardage situations on third down and try to get after your quarterback.
All right, the Dukes and the Tribe of William and Mary. It's been a great series throughout the years, and it will continue on Saturday at 3:30.
He's homegrown in the central Shenandoah Valley, was a multiple sport athlete at Harrisonburg High School for the Blue Streaks, and went on to play for the baseball team here for the Diamond Dukes and his father, Brad Babcock. After earning his degree at JMU, he continued his education at West Virginia and went on to work at several schools across the country. This past January, he was named the athletic director down in Blacksburg for the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Whit Babcock visited the JMU campus a couple of weeks ago and spent some time with Kurt Dudley.
Well, he's a homegrown chap, and he's come back home here, of course. He went to Harrisonburg High School. He ended up playing here at James Madison University, a little baseball. His dad was the head coach when they took the Diamond Dukes to the College World Series in 1983. He was a little young at that particular time, but we want to welcome here a special guest on MadiZONE HD SportsNet during one of our alumni features, and he is 1992 JMU graduate, Whit Babcock. Whit, welcome back to campus. Great to have you here.
It's wonderful to be back. Very fond memories of JMU, and really shaped who I am today, and it's a thrill to be here.
You have gone quite of a whirlwind route, 44-year-old now, but now the athletics director down the road a little bit, Blacksburg at Virginia Tech. Give us a little quick run of the history of how you got there.
Oh, yeah. Obviously went here to Madison and majored in sports management. And I got some advice to go to graduate school. I wasn't a good enough baseball player to play professionally. So I went to graduate school. I was going to work in sports, and have worked everywhere from minor league baseball to back at Madison and Auburn and West Virginia, Missouri, Cincinnati, and here. So I hope to do a good job and stay around a while, but it's great to be close to Harrisonburg, and I hope to get re-engaged more with Madison.
You started out, again, you went to West Virginia, got your master's there at West Virginia, but you were in development first. Did you kind of go through the various levels of college athletics before you got into the AD portion of it?
Yeah, I did come up through the development ranks, and actually I started under a guy by the name of Mike Minnis here in the Duke Club, and came up through those ranks, but over time learned some of the breadth of the industry, and really the guy that probably made the most impact on my career is when I worked at Missouri. And there I was in the, quote, number 2 position. And the AD there, Mike Alden, really handed me the keys and let me make mistakes. And hopefully we had some successes and took it from there. But development and fundraising and marketing was my entry into the business.
We've had a little bit of time to spend together before we do this interview officially, but your memories of James Madison, we've been talking about some of those guys that you played with back with the Diamond Dukes in the late 80s and early 90s. Baseball and playing here at your hometown, what was that like?
Yeah, you know, the 80s or the late 80s and early 90s when I played, I have fond memories of that. But growing up in Harrisonburg and watching the growth of Madison College into James Madison University and all that Ron Carrier did and the building of the football program. My dad was also a JV football coach with Chalice McMillan. And to watch Madison College go from Division III to Division II to Division I and blossom what it is today, I don't know that any of us could have believed it, but the vision of a lot of people made that happen. So I go way back, and my dad taught phys ed back then. You coached, and in addition to coaching baseball, football, he taught motorcycle, driver's ed, and racquetball. So there were some perks to the job. I got to come hang around campus as a kid and grow up there. So while my playing career was great, what really brings me back when I come back are those early days of the 70s and just growing up on a college campus. And there's worse ways to grow up. But it taught me a lot for my job today, whether it was working camps or in the equipment room or being around my dad as a coach, just being on a college campus. I didn't know it was doing it at the time, but it really prepared me for what I do today.
When you look at this campus, I mean, over here we've got Bridgeforth Stadium. You're visiting some of the other facilities. What are your thoughts about JMU today?
Yeah, some of them I'm jealous. I need to take them back to Virginia Tech there. Really impressed. It has a good, clean look. Jeff Bourne and the leadership team have done a tremendous job, but the facilities have really come along. Campus is beautiful. What a great place to recruit to. So I'm proud as an alumnus, but I'm a little envious too as an AD. So I think they're outstanding, really impressive.
The NCAA right now is going through a lot of evolutionary change on many levels, and you're at the level now at the FBS and the Big Five with many of the changes. When you get up and you read the paper or you watch the news or ESPN, you know, to be an athletics director at that level and to see the national change, what's your general thought on where college athletics are today?
Yeah, I guess the best way or the simplest way to put it, I think we're in a market correction. And I only shake my head because it's challenging. You know, I'm all for amateurism. I'm not for professionalization of college athletics, but we lost our way a little bit as the NCAA, and TV has probably been the best and the worst thing for our industry. It's brought a lot of money in. It's brought a lot of visibility, a lot of ability to build things for Title IX and all that. But the money's gotten so big, and that we're kicking off games at Wednesdays and other things. So I think we've lost our way a little bit. Hopefully now it's going to center back on the student athlete, and I'm all for that. I think, how do you justify the money that you spend to pay coaches or pay ADs or build facilities and not invest some of it back in the well-being of your student athletes? So if it stays on that track, I'm all for it. But I hope it doesn't go any farther than that. I still believe in the tradition and pageantry and amateurism of college athletics. That's where it needs to be. So if we can accomplish both, great. But I'll be glad when this time of turmoil is over and we get back to what we're all here to do, and that's train our young people and educate them and win some games.
Well, Whit, thank you for joining us this very short time. We could talk a lot more, I know, and I'm sure that you and I will off camera here. But welcome back to Harrisonburg. Welcome back to your campus and to your town. It's great to have you here in Harrisonburg.
Oh, I'm honored to be back, and really proud of everything here. Go Dukes.
When we return, Erin will be joined by Athletics Director Jeff Bourne to talk about the upcoming JMU Athletics Hall of Fame inductions after this timeout from MadiZONE HD SportsNet.
Is he still in there?
Yeah.
Sleeping in the closet every single night. This has got to stop.
Oh, hey, Elaine. How's it going?
How much longer are you going to be here?
Billy is 5.
6.
6. 12 years. But don't worry about me. I got my pillow pet.
Tame the tuition monster. Visit Virginia529.com and see why it's the nation's largest 529 college savings plan.
Hey, who wants popcorn?
us now is Jeff Horn. As Director of Athletics, he plays a key role in the JMU Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony that's coming up towards the end of this month. I know that this event was a vision of yours. Why was it so important to you to make sure this event was important to all of JMU and not just JMU Athletics?
Well, if you think about it, it's really the marquee event for the athletic program. What thing can you do on your campus that is recognizing ex-athletes, coaches, administrators at the highest levels? And if that event's going to happen, it really needed to happen within the athletic department. And we just want to make sure that when we did it right. And it's a great event. We love it. And we're really looking forward to this year. Got a great class coming in this year, so it should be a lot of fun.
How do people get nominated?
We have a committee that goes back, and obviously there are criteria to that committee that we look at. They have to be out for so long, and certainly it's based on their accomplishments for the program. But it's one of those things every year that we always have a lot of folks that are eligible, and we only can take so many. So the list is long, and we hope eventually that we get to a lot of those names. But it's a very competitive process.
So who's being inducted this year? I know you said you had a long list.
Yeah, we do. We had a long list to draw from, but this year we're really fortunate. We've got Gail Decker and Lisa State from our women's lacrosse program, Delvin Joyce from football, and Mike Fox from track and field, and then a really special group, the 1994 Women's Field Hockey National Championship team. So what's really cool about that is that we hire Christy Morgan back, and Christy was the coach of that team. So it's going to be a special night. We're really looking forward to them.
So what happens at the ceremony itself?
Well, I mean, it's a major production. If you've never been, I encourage you to go. It's a great event. Major production with lights and music and great food, and we get a great group of people back every year, really large crowd, and we do again, it's designed to be the best event that we have. It's an optional black tie, so you feel really, really special from the minute you walk in until the minute you walk out. So that's our goal, and
so
we do a good
anyone
job.
Can go?
Anybody can go. You just have to buy tickets for that event, and we encourage them to do that through our ticket office. This year, we're hoping we're going to get a lot of people that come back for it. It's a little later, gives people a little break, being later in November, so we're excited.
Where is the event this year?
This year it'll be held in the College Festival in the large area, and so in the ballroom. So it takes several days to set up for it, and it's going to be a big deal.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. I will definitely see you at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony on November 21st.
Great deal. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Awesome. The Dukes started a new pregame tradition this year. Before each game, the drumline and cheerleading team lead the football team in a dog walk through Godwin Field. The walk ends at the Clementine Presents soundstage, and the team and Coach Withers say a few words to the fans. We'll hear from Coach Withers, but for now, let's join the dog walk. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You were great.
Good deal.
I knew going to JMU would be more about just getting a master's.
I just knew that it was the place for me.
I feel as though that I'm a part of the institution.
You will never meet a stranger. Everyone is always willing to help you out and to help you through your graduate experience here at James Madison University.
The graduate school here is a great choice.
The education that you receive is top-notch.
It's one of the best in the country. And from here, everything is possible.
There's a great place to find high-quality cars without the hassles. And it all starts here, at CarMax.
We believe that buying a high-quality used car should be hassle-free. So at CarMax, we start with a low, no-haggle price on every car.
With a great selection on every lot, you can test drive an incredible variety of cars, all in one place.
And every CarMax car is protected with a 30-day warranty and a 5-day money-back guarantee.
So when you're ready to start the search for your next car, come see the way car buying should be at CarMax. Start here.
And Telos wants to give you more for the holidays, like 2 gigs of data and unlimited talk and text for just $25 a month. That's a better value than Verizon and AT&T. And nothing says happy holidays like getting the smartphone you want for $0 down. And Telos will even buy out your contract. It's $25, 2 gigs of data, and unlimited talk and text. Happier holidays from Telos. More phones, more lines, more data. Get more for the holidays from Mentelos.
Due to technical difficulties, but we do have JMU sports updates for you.
The James Madison Field Hockey Dukes suffered a 1-0 loss at number 18 Northeastern last night at Dedham Field in Dedham, Massachusetts. The game was the 13th this season for the Dukes, in which 1 goal was the difference, and JMU is 7-6 in those games. The Huskies scored the lone goal of the game off a penalty corner awarded as time expired in the last half. The loss dropped JMU to a 2-3 in the CAA and a 10-7 overall record. William and Mary helped the Dukes' chances of making the 4-team CAA tournament by beating Hofstra 5-3 last night. JMU plays at Hofstra tomorrow at noon with the final playoff spot on the line. The winner will get the number 4 seed for the tournament, which begins next weekend. Hofstra would have the better CAA record with the win tomorrow. The Dukes would earn the berth on the head-to-head tiebreaker.
In volleyball news, senior middle blocker Lizzie Briones knocked down 16 kills on a .382 attack percentage, but James Madison dropped a 3-1 Colonial Athletic Association volleyball decision at UNCW on Friday evening. Sophomore outside hitter Katie Whitmire picked up her second double-digit performance of the season with 13 kills, while junior setter Sarah Patterson, notched her 5th double-double for the Dukes with 39 assists and 10 kills on just 14 attacks. The Dukes now carry a 5-6 CAA record and 13-11 overall mark to Elon tomorrow. JMU beat the Phoenix in Harrisonburg earlier this season in straight sets.
Behind 2 goals from senior midfielder Jonathan Barden, James Madison locked up a berth in the Colonial Athletics Association men's soccer tournament with a 2-win victory over William and Mary on Wednesday night at University Park. Barden and the Dukes broke the 1-1 tie in the 82nd minute when senior forward Josh Grant ripped a shot from 15 yards out at the top of the box. Jones couldn't corral the hard shot, though, as the ball bounced off his hands and got behind him. Following the shot to the goal line, Barden beat Jones to the bouncing ball and put it home. JMU head coach Tom Martin earned a victory in his final regular season home game, as he will step aside at the end of the 2014 season, his 29th with the Dukes. Martin is the winningest active coach in Division I men's soccer with 475 victories.
In women's soccer news, redshirt senior Sam Lofton capitalized on a penalty kick midway through the first overtime to lift James Madison to a 1-0 win over visiting Elon Sunday and lock up the number 2 seed for the upcoming Colonial Athletic Association tournament. Entering the day, JMU, 12-7 overall and 7-2 in the CAA, had a chance at winning the CAA regular season crown for the 2nd year in a row, but Northeastern entered that hope by topping Drexel 1-0. Overall, the Huskies finished with 22 points, while JMU earned 21. After battling Elon through 2 scoreless halves, the Dukes came out in overtime with pressure on the Elon goal and were rewarded in the 95th minute when sophomore midfielder Allie Bunner dribbled into the top of the box and was fouled by Elon goalkeeper Kate Murphy, setting up the penalty kick to decide the game.
James Madison hosts Philadelphia University in a men's basketball exhibition on Sunday at 2 p.m. inside the JMU Convocation Center. Admission and parking are free for this game. Fans can purchase season tickets for all 19 regular season home games, while single game tickets are on sale starting today. This is the 7th straight season the Dukes will hit the court against the Rams, dating back to the 2008-09 season. JMU has won each of the last 6 meetings, but Philadelphia University has kept it close for the most part, including 3 losses by single digits. In last year's exhibition, JMU topped Philadelphia 73-69 in overtime.
It's time for another timeout on MadiZONE HD SportsNet. Okay,
Whoa.
Adorable little kid.
Right?
Instead of asking yourself, where did those 4 years go? Think about where the next 40 will take you. Be involved at Madison. Dukes from day one, alumni for life.
With a lot of changes to the roster this year, one standout player has made it easier on everyone thus far. MadiZONE's Bridget Condon has more with the redshirt junior Vadley.
Ready to go.
The JMU coaching staff didn't have to think twice when given the opportunity to invite Vadley to join the team.
Coach Withers called me one day and was like, "What do you know about Vadley?" And it was a great dual threat kid that went to Georgia Tech, and he said, would you be happy if we took him? And I said, absolutely.
For head coach Everett Withers, this wasn't the first time he had dreamed of coaching Vadley.
When he was in high school at Hillside High School, and I was at the University of North Carolina, we were recruiting him at North Carolina, so I had the opportunity to get to meet him, know him, his coaching staff. And obviously when I got here, his high school coach called me.
Lee had offers all across the FCS.
It's us, I think Townsend, and I think Northern Iowa that he was looking at, and he took trips to all of them. Ultimately, I think our previous relationship helped.
I found out Coach Withers took the job and the staff that he brought in. I was really excited about it, and it was just an awesome opportunity that I couldn't turn down.
You know, I always felt like Georgia Tech got a really good football player. He was just not happy there in their system. I thought bringing him here and giving him a fresh start, kind of a new lease on life would be beneficial for both parties.
His coaches say his attitude and drive have made this season enjoyable for everyone.
The minute that you meet Vad, he's got a very boisterous, exuberant personality, so he was an easy person to like and an easy person to coach. So.
It's impacted our whole entire football program because I think he's a first-class individual.
Lee came to JMU with hopes to become a role model for this program.
I just want to lead this offense, be the general, make sure that we're running, making sure that we're in the right plays, and really just winning games. It's not about me.
It's this or this, every time.
He broke a school passing record, 2 school passing records that game against Villanova.
Lee's contribution to the team on and off the field has led him to be named CAA Football Offensive Player of the Week.
I really feel like that, I'm getting smarter. With the position that I play, I have to be smart and have to demand excellence from the offense. It's just a confidence matter, getting more comfortable under center in the pocket and things like that.
I feel he's becoming more and more each week a leader for our football team, and that's hard when you transfer in. People expect you to be the leader because you're the quarterback.
I was growing every day with these guys. They embraced me since day one, ever since I stepped on campus.
He said he's got such an exuberant personality. He likes to smile and laugh, just generally have a good time in life. Like I said, that stuff is contagious. It's fun to be around.
I made the best decision of my life.
Bridget Condon and Megan Zamilo have some updates about what's going on around JMU on the JMU Today News Brief.
From the School of Media Arts and Design.
And let's dream big together. But it's time to dance.
This is JMU Today.
Good afternoon. I'm Megan DeMilo.
And I'm Bridget Condon. This is your JMU News Brief. JMU is asking students to show their school pride. SGA's 12th annual Purple Out kicked off homecoming festivities on Monday. According to SGA, more than 3,000 free t-shirts were given to the students this year. The purpose of this event is to encourage school spirit and create a sense of community on campus. SGA asks that all students show their support for the Dukes during the homecoming game by wearing their purple. Homecoming events will be held throughout the week, including the crowning of Mr. and Miss Madison.
NARAL Pro-Choice America is asking JMU students what's scarier than Halloween. The advocacy group is having students express their concerns about the future of women's health care and reproductive rights. Students are asked to write their ideas on a whiteboard and take a picture for social media. NARAL hopes to raise awareness about the importance of these issues to help pro-choice candidates get elected. The goal of the project is to inspire students to vote on Election Day.
Local businesses are welcoming some spooky characters downtown. Stores and restaurants open their doors to hundreds of trick-or-treaters for Halloween on the square. This year's event had the largest turnout since its start in 2003. According to Harrisonburg Downtown Renaissance, 43 businesses participated in the event, bringing hundreds of residents to the downtown area.
I mean, the downtown's revitalizing, so this has gotten better and better every year.
This is just one of the many events planned to attract more attention to this area. The hope is families will come for the candy and return when they see what downtown has to offer.
JMU baseball may already have a glimpse of its future starting lineup. Young baseball players from the Valley got to play at the Shenandoah Valley Baseball Academy Fall Classic Tournament. JMU was one of many facilities used for the games throughout the weekend. Recruiters from JMU and other universities attended the event to look at players in the showcase teams. The organizers of the tournament hope to help start some college baseball careers.
Motto at the academy is prepare you for the next level, and to try to get you whatever the next level is. And for these kids, it's the university and playing college baseball.
Bocock says the best outcome from the tournament would be scholarship offers for the players in the future. For the JMU softball program, a rough winter this year wouldn't be half bad. JMU has transformed its grass softball field into field turf. Only 20 college teams across the nation play softball on field turf. Many Division I softball programs in the NCAA have reported a reduction of up to 50% in fielding errors after switching to field turf. JMU softball is the only team in the CAA to have its own field turf.
Around 500 people across the valley gathered downtown to raise awareness at the Walk to End Alzheimer's. According to the Alzheimer's Association, someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's every 67 seconds. Harrisonburg has raised more than $97,000 towards ending Alzheimer's. Organizers have passed their goal by $15,000. The Barbara Lowers BFFs team, founded by Tim Lowers, was among the top 3 donators. Lowers lost his wife to the disease last July at a young age of 51. His hope was to raise $5,000. They have almost tripled this goal.
Made the last several months it's very comforting knowing that we touched so many people's lives. Even though Barbara's life ended, I think, way too short.
Studies say more than 5 million Americans are suffering with Alzheimer's today. That number will increase to as many as 16 million by 2050. You can still go online to the link below to make your donation. Thanks for joining us. This has been your JMU Today News Brief.
We'll see you next week. Have a happy homecoming.
Gabrielle Smith continues her season-long series of O Love for the O-linemen. This week we hear from Josh Hogan, who has played on both sides of the ball.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
In 2010, my greatest decision, was obviously having the coaching staff that really, wanted, me as a player to come here. I saw the new stadium being built. Obviously, the new home side was a big decision maker. I wanted to play in front of a big crowd, and I knew CAA competition was, the best around in FCS. So those were my sole reasons why I came. Well, obviously, the rest of the season, the first step's to win a CAA championship, and that's you got to start small because, winning a CAA will get you to the next step, which is playoffs, and winning a national championship. That's the ultimate goal of the team here. But it's a long road, it's a long process, and it's always fun. Just the experiences, playing in front of big crowds, playing on TV, just forming a brotherhood with the guys that have all come around the country here. Because that's who we see every day. They're my best friends, especially the O-line. Love those guys to death, but that's just forming that bond has been the greatest possible, thing that I've gotten. Probably back in the day when I was playing tight end, I'd say my first catch was a highlight. Another position I played was D-line when I had a sack. That was a pretty fun highlight. And then obviously this year starting at right guard has been a huge highlight for me, and want to continue to excel at that. big game last year was beating Richmond. That was probably one of my favorite moments. And then this year beating Lehigh with that block kick in the end of the game. That was a huge moment. I think in a lot of our careers, and we won't ever forget that one. Probably my family has been the greatest impact because they come to every game they can. On the road, home, whenever possible. They're always there for me. They give me the greatest support.
And they stay there, and they say yeah.
The recreation industry, something with like resorts, whatnot, with resort recreation, that's probably my number one focus right now. Currently looking at MadiZONE actually, trying to get a job there and maybe continue working in the Harrisonburg area.
We are now joined by J.R. Snow, the voice of the Marching Royal Dukes and a member of the Alumni Board. Thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure to be here.
Could you tell us a little bit about your involvement with the Marching Royal Dukes?
Sure, yeah. I serve as Assistant Director of the Marching Royal Dukes. I'm an alum, so it's just quite a pride thing for me to be out there and teaching where I once was a part of that membership, so it's awesome.
That's great. You're on the Alumni Board of Directors. How did you get involved with that?
I enjoy serving the university in many ways, and being local here in Harrisonburg, I thought it would be neat, so I went ahead and applied and thought I had some gifts that might be really, really great for the board, and they thought so too, and so I'm in my second term, I guess year 4, and have learned a ton about the university, the way that we work, the way that we can serve and get out there, so it's been a great experience.
That's great. Our last home game of the season is the weekend for the Marching Royal Dukes Alumni Band Weekend. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Marching Royal Dukes Alumni Band, we're the largest student organization on campus, so we should have this unbelievable alumni corps that come out, and they have been. It's been really, really well organized by Dan Everard, a good friend, and so we just encourage all Marching Royal Dukes to come out. Even if you're not going to march, you don't feel like you can because you haven't picked up your horn in 20 years, just come out and hang and be a part of it and be a part of the experience. And so, yeah, we're going to put the alumni band on the field, pregame, halftime, postgame, get them out there, enjoy the time. It's a great way to relive your memories back here at Madison.
It's going to be everybody.
It's awesome. Yeah, we'll take our 450 on the field and throw in a couple another 100 folks that are out there and just having a good time. And every year, it's a fantastic weekend.
That sounds so fun. You guys have a big trip to Italy coming up.
We do, yeah. Going to Italy. These overseas things are so cool. I think the best part about the trip, we're going to do the New Year's parade in Rome. That's going to take us right into the Vatican, and then we're going to do a concert in St. Petersburg Square, and it's going to be right after the Papal Blessing, the New Year's blessing. It's going to be unbelievable. The big question is the Pope going to listen? Is he going to be there? But we're going to be there. It could be. We're talking could be 100,000 people, which is going to just be amazing. So we're very, very honored to represent Virginia, represent the university, and to be over there in Rome this winter.
So back to the Alumni Association. Sure. What's the goal of the program?
The goal of the Alumni Association, first of all, it's such a vital part of the university as a whole. Sometimes we leave the university as students, we forget that we're a vital part. And when we're a student, we don't actually think about it or see it. We're kind of in our thing. But when you walk away and come back, there's so many ways to give, not just monetarily, but of your time and your talents and your gifts. We want those folks, and we want all alumni to come back and continue to have an awesome connection. So that's our goal, giving folks an opportunity to do that, giving folks an opportunity to come back, be a part like today, rain or shine, doesn't matter, but we're going to come back and have a great time back here on campus.
So how can alums become more involved in the Alumni Association?
Well, I think it's really important that we've got some great alumni chapters out throughout the country. And so if you look around, you're going to find people, and it's going to make a direct connection to people in your area. So we want you to go out and get involved. If they're having an event, go out and try it out, check it out, meet some people. And that connection, just like it feels home here at JMU, you're going to feel home in your own town, and you can get involved that way. And then through experiences, you'll find different ways to get involved, both off campus and on campus. So many events that office does. They really, really do a great job trying to engage every alumni.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So speaking of alumni,
sure.
Do you have any relation to the JMU alum Tyler Snow? He was a defensive end. Anything? Any connection?
I'm going to say he's my cousin because we did some work together last year. We decided, hey, let's be cousins. No official relationship, but I feel like Tyler and I we're bonded. We're good.
Oh, definitely some kind of bond. The last name brings it all together.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for giving us some insight on the Marching Royal Dukes and the Alumni Association. We have a little bit more about the NCAA and academic eligibility. Stephen Laporta of the JMU Compliance Office goes into depth on the practices of JMU eligibility when we come back.
How's it going, Dukes fans? My name is Stephen Laporta, the Director of Compliance here at James Madison University. Today we're outside the Athletics Performance Center, or as we call it, the APC. The APC houses several things, from coaches' offices to strength and conditioning and athletic training services, to the most important part, our student-athlete academic services. In student-athlete academic services, we have a computer lab for our student-athletes to use, as well as access to academic advisors and tutor rooms. The reason the academic services area is so important is they're responsible for ensuring that all of our student-athletes are academically eligible. The NCAA has set up specific guidelines for us to follow to make sure our student-athletes are meeting requirements so they graduate from JMU with a degree. There are a couple of requirements that the NCAA requires. They have to, all student-athletes must be enrolled full-time, which is at least 12 credits per semester. They also have to meet certain credit hour requirements. Every year they have to meet percentage of degree, and lastly, they need to meet certain GPA requirements. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into each one of those sections so you know exactly what our student-athletes have to do. The first one is the credit hour requirements. All student-athletes must pass at least 6 credits per semester. Football student-athletes have to pass 9 credits in the fall to be eligible next fall. Between the fall and spring semesters, all student-athletes have to pass 18 credits. And for the freshmen, they have to pass 24 credits by the beginning of their second year of college. In regards to the 6 and 18-hour requirements, the credits must be going towards a specific major. This is a requirement that the regular student at JMU does not have to deal with. The unfortunate side effect of this legislation is that it eliminates opportunities to explore other classes and degree programs for our student athletes. The second area we're going to talk to you about is percentage of degree. Percentage of degree basically says that student athletes have to pass a certain amount of credits to be eligible the next fall. What the NCAA set up is that all student athletes graduate within 5 years. So, after a student athlete's second year in college, they have to have at least 40% of their degree completed. After their third year in college, they need to have 60% of their degree completed. And after their fourth year in college, 80% of their degree completed, with the thought that they will graduate after that year. Due to these requirements, it greatly inhibits our student athletes' ability to change their major. Since all credits must be going towards this specific major, a lot of credits don't transfer in between majors. Lastly, we have GPA requirements. A JMU student athlete has to meet at least 90% of the requirement for graduation after their first year in school. After their second year in school, they have to meet at least 95% of the GPA requirements to graduate. And after the third year in school, they have to be at the GPA requirements to graduate. They must stay there for the remainder of their college career here. All these things are checked semesterly. We'll check them once in the winter and once after the spring semester. We work together with our student athletes, with the academic advisors, to make sure all of our student athletes are meeting these requirements. Unfortunately, if a student athlete doesn't meet one of these requirements, they will not be eligible to compete on the field. If you have any questions regarding eligibility for our student athletes, please feel free to reach out to the JMU Compliance Office. Thanks for your time, and as always, go Dukes.
Thursday night, members of the JMU field hockey team get together with local youngsters to teach them their sport. They call them Purple Pups.
This is what we call Purple Pups. It's for every Tuesday for the past month or so. The kids come out and we teach them the fundamentals of field hockey, the basics, and each week we progress in teaching them. We'll go back to what we taught them the week before and then teach them a new skill, and so they can progressively learn field hockey.
Most importantly, we've got such a great community, and a lot of the women in the community have their transplants from Pennsylvania, from New Jersey. They've played, and there's no opportunity for their kids to play. I've had one parent say that her daughter keeps asking for an AstroTurf in the backyard, and because she loves the sport so much. They haven't had the exposure, and so all we want to do is give them a taste.
It's a great opportunity for these little kids. There's great talent out there that can't play field hockey, so it's great that we can give them an opportunity to try it out and see if they actually like it.
It's also having a positive sort of impact on the community, really giving these kids an outlet and an opportunity to develop their skills. Who knows, we could have a future national championship with us, and we can claim I worked with her when she was 7.
I hope people fall in love with the sport. I mean, it'd be great if they love it so much that they want to come to games and see it played at a higher level. I'd love at some point within the next 2 years, I'd love if we'd start a youth program the next level, and then we'd start a club the next level, so we can really train at an elite level, so we can get some players from this area playing the sport in college, and some players from this area representing the USA in the Olympics, and it's all doable. I have a life lesson every session, and I think that's really important at this age. And it could be about team and how you are a good teammate. It could be about attitude and how your attitude affects your outcome. Something really fundamental but really meaningful.
We talked about how they use teamwork at home with their parents, with their siblings, teamwork in the classroom with their friends, and how you can't get stuff done unless you work as a team. So we just try to bring in things that they use outside of field hockey that they can relate to in field hockey.
I think we create a fun environment that it's not all business. It's we have a clear purpose, and we have a clear intention, but we walk away, and the bottom line is they're having.
As we told you earlier, the JMU men's soccer team has clinched a spot in the CAA tournament. Hailing from England, Jonathan Barton has been a mainstay in the midfield throughout his JMU career. MadiZONE's Joe Kirkendall, has more.
Joseph Kirkendall here with MadiZONE HD SportsNet. Today I'm joined with Jonathan Barton, senior midfielder for the JMU men's soccer team. Jonathan, your collegiate career is about to come to a close. Talk about what it's been like being able to represent JMU for the past 4 seasons.
Yeah, it's been a great experience playing here for 4 years. It's obviously a very prestigious academic school, and sports-wise it's got a great history, so it's been a real pleasure playing here.
Has being in the States and playing in the States been exactly what you expected it to be and lived up to your expectations?
I would say it has done. It's definitely lived up to my expectations. It's always tough to know what you're going to come out and play with, but I know it'd be physical and stamina-wise very taxing, and it has been, but I've enjoyed it.
You've had the privilege of playing under Dr. Tom Martin the past 4 seasons. Talk about what it's been like to learn a lot from him and be under his tutelage these past 4 years as well.
Yeah, he's clearly, he knows a lot about the game. He's been in it for a long time and been at JMU for a long time, so I've learned a lot of soccer knowledge from his experience being here, for sure.
You've been a staple for the JMU men's soccer team in your 4 years here. Are you sad to see it end, and what are you hoping to leave as a lasting legacy with this program and future programs as well?
It's definitely sad to be leaving. Being part of anything so closely for 4 years is going to be sad. I just hope we can finish with a bang, make the playoffs and make a good run in the playoffs and see what happens.
What are you going to take away most from JMU, either as a student or as an athlete?
I take away a lot academically, a lot playing-wise, but also I've built a lot of good relationships out here, a lot of great people at JMU. I definitely say I'd take away the relationships I've made here.
You're a senior, you're about to graduate. What are your plans post-graduation now?
I hope to continue playing soccer, whether it be out here or back in Europe. We'll have to see what happens, but definitely continue playing.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jonathan. For MadiZONE HD SportsNet, I'm Joseph Kirkendall.
Maxine Johnson has been following the CAA all season long. She joins us now to give us a look at what's going on around the CAA today.
Thanks, Erin. CAA play is already underway today, starting off with Villanova on the road at Richmond. The Wildcats are undefeated in the CAA and lead the all-time series between these two teams with 21 wins and 10 losses. Richmond is not far behind Villanova, though, in the conference, currently in third with a 3-1 record. Kickoff was at 12 today, and the score right now is currently 3-0 with Villanova with the lead. Rhode Island and Delaware had a 12 o'clock kickoff as well, and the score is currently at 21-7, Delaware with the lead. The Rams have been struggling so far and have yet to pick up a win, leaving them with a 0-8 record. However, as the players' efforts have not gone unnoticed, 2 of them claiming CAA awards last week. Linebacker Andrew Rose won Defensive Player of the Week after recording 19 tackles, a CAA football season high. And kick returner Miles Holmes was awarded Special Teams Player of the Week after returning a kickoff for 100 yards for a touchdown. Delaware defends its home turf today and is 2-2 in the CAA. Our next CAA game today is your JMU Dukes playing against longtime Virginian rival William & Mary. Both teams have identical records, 2-2 in the CAA and 5-3 overall. JMU leads the series, but not by much, with 20 wins and 16 losses. This should be a pretty even matchup. However, JMU has this past week's CAA Offensive Player of the Week, quarterback Vad Lee, on its side. Lee totaled 6 touchdowns at Charlotte last week, 4 of them passing and 2 of them rushing. He passed for 333 yards and rushed for 71 yards. Be sure to stay tuned for the game starting at 3:30 today. Next at 4 o'clock, we have Elon playing at Towson. This is only the 3rd time that these two teams have met, and the Tigers have won every encounter. Elon is still in search for its first win in the conference, and Towson is hoping to improve its record in the CAA that's currently at 1-3. Lastly, for CAA play today, we have UAlbany on the road at New Hampshire. The Wildcats are coming into this game strong, currently holding a 4-0 record in the conference and a 6-1 record overall, as well as leading the all-time series between these two teams 2-0. UAlbany is entering the game with a 2-game winning streak, defeating Colgate last week 24-17. That's all I have for you today and around the CAA.
Thank you so much, Maxine. JMU defensive coordinator Brandon Staley and co-offensive coordinator Drew Maringer take us inside the JMU playbook with some chalk talk.
At the end of the third quarter, we had taken a lead, and we had them backed up in their territory. It's a 2nd down and 10. Again, we're in a split safety coverage here. We were anticipating a quick pass, a sprint out type play, or a draw, and they run a draw play here. And if you'll take a look at Sage Harold up down here at the bottom, the defensive end, he really makes the play go, because we take an inside move up there with Brandon Lee, and he just misses the tackle for a loss, but Sage keeps coming from the blind side and is able to strip the ball from the runner, and we're able to recover in their territory. It created a lot of momentum for us and really allowed us to finish the game and put the game out of reach. So you'll see we've got the twist game coming from your left side. Brandon's taking an inside move. All right, and what that does is it disrupts the runner. It kind of gets him off track, and then you can see Sage coming from the backside, all right, and he's able to strip the ball. On defense, we talk about the end of every play as a takeaway. At the end of every play, you have a chance to take the ball away, whether it's a strip, an interception, sack, fumble, something of that nature. And this is a great example of that. Gave us an opportunity to give the ball back to our offense and close the game out.
Dukes are back. Here's really the play for us that iced the game and gave us our 47th and 48th points here. So this is 3rd down, 3rd and medium, okay? And they've been playing zone coverage this whole drive towards the end. Now we put the running back out there to occupy the corner, and we what we call squeezed our 2 inside receivers. And what that allows us to do is get receivers on linebackers and safeties. Okay. Now these 2 receivers, one of them, Brandon Ravenel, is going to go deep, and DeAndre Smith is going to run essentially a corner route, or what we call a flood route. The back's going to stay right there in the flat and occupy the corner's vision for a split second, allowing this the 2 deeper portions of this zone to open up. So as the ball is snapped, okay, we get 2 receivers working up in the middle of the field, and you see that running back occupying the corner for a split second, okay, allowing the 2 deep receivers to get into the deep part of the zone uncontested. Vad makes a great throw right here. Nice easy throw for the touchdown to win that game for us. It was a big time play for us, especially for 3rd down. You watch the protection right here. They started moving quite a bit. Defensive line, one of their game plans was to move quite a bit, not only on rundowns but on pass downs. Okay, so you see the little interior twist right here. Watch a 300-pound man right here stop, redirect. That's very impressive from our right guard. Very, very impressive for our right guard. Proud of those guys. They did a great job this game. We scored.
We hope you enjoyed today's MadiZONE HD SportsNet football pregame show. We're here every home game 2.5 hours before kickoff, which is now only an hour and a half away.
We're looking forward to seeing all of our alumni in Bridgeforth Stadium for our homecoming game. Thank you for watching, and go Dukes!